Thermodynamics. So, thermodynamics is a branch of physics which deals with its thermal effect and the conversion of temperature. We know that temperature is related to energy. The energy is heat energy, in conversion of heat energy into another forms and utilization of heat energy, and all these will come under thermodynamics. So it's a branch of physics which deals with the heat energy and work done by a system or work of a system. It also deals with the conversion of heat into different process. We know we already studied near plus two classes about Carnot and engine, refrigerator, etc. These all will come under thermodynamics, and also our engines. Mean petrol engine, diesel engine, two-stroke engines, four-stroke engines. All these will come under thermodynamics. So it is the conversion of one form of energy, that is heat energy, into different forms, and using the heat energy we can do some work, or we can run some machines, and like that. So the thermodynamics will deals with all these things. So when we study the thermodynamic system, we have to consider a system, its boundary and its surroundings. So what will be a So what are systems surrounding in boundary? System, we know that the region which is under our consideration or which is under our study is known as the system, and the region which divide the system and the surrounding is known as the boundary, or which is the separation of a restricted region of space or finite portion of matter from its surrounding by means of a closed surface is known as the boundary. The temperature of the system is the property that determines whether or not the system is in thermal equilibrium. So the temperature will help us to understand whether the system is in thermal equilibrium or not. So the energy, that is heat energy, is measured using its temperature. So let us study the different type of system, that is open system, closed system and isolated system. An open system, a system which can exchange matter and energy with its surrounding, is known as the open system. For example, a cup of tea which is not closed at the open point. Okay, so that is an example of open system which can exchange both energy and matter. An air compressor is also an example. When we compress, it can exchange both matter and energy. So that type of system is known as open system. Then what about closed system? A system which can exchange only energy with the surrounding is known as a closed system. A gas enclosed in a cylinder is an example for this type of closed system. So when the cylinder expands by heating, it pushes the piston outwards. Here, the matter inside the system remains constant, but it gets energy from outside. So this type of system is known as closed system. For example, a simple case, a cup of tea which is closed by a plate or anything like that. So what will be an isolated system? A system which is thermally, mechanically isolated, or which cannot exchange both heat and matter with the surrounding, is known as an isolated system. A thermally isolated system means no heat flowing into or out of the system. For example, gas enclosed by a perfectly insulating wall. Because of this insulating wall, it cannot exchange. Insulating means it will not conduct heat, so it cannot exchange heat with its surrounding, and also it is closed, so it cannot exchange its matter. So that type of system is known as the isolated system. So an important uh, one important term which is related to thermodynamics is thermodynamic equilibrium. What is a thermodynamic equilibrium? In thermodynamic equilibrium means if the system is in thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium and in chemical equilibrium, if the system are in both these type of equilibrium, we can call the system is in a thermodynamic equilibrium. So, in order to become a thermodynamic equilibrium, the system should be in thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium. It is number 3. It is not number 1. Okay. So, what is a thermal equilibrium? Thermal equilibrium means the temperature of the system is a constant one, or the system will not exchange heat with anything, or when we measure the temperature at all point of the system, it is a constant. That type of system is known as the then we call that the system is in thermal equilibrium. So there will not be any heat exchange taking place inside the system. The temperature of the system does not change with time and have the same value at all point of the system. Then we call it is in thermal equilibrium. Then what will be mechanical equilibrium? Mechanical means if there is no unbalanced force acting on the system, we call the system is in mechanical equilibrium. If there is no unbalanced force within the system or between the system and the surrounding, at that time the pressure inside the system is same at all point and does not change with respect to time. 2 points, there is no unbalanced force. Because of there is no unbalanced force, the pressure of the system remains same at all points. Then this type of equilibrium is known as the mechanical equilibrium. We know that pressure is nothing but force by area. Then third about chemical equilibrium. If there is no chemical exchange taking inside the system, we call the system is in chemical equilibrium, or no chemical reaction is taking place inside the system and the chemical composition of the system will remain same throughout the system and it does not vary with time. Then that type of equilibrium is known as the chemical equilibrium. So if the system it is in thermal, mechanical and chemical equilibrium, then we call the system as a thermodynamic equilibrium. So let us study what is the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Zeroth law of thermodynamics state that if two body A and B, they are separately in thermal equilibrium with a third body, then A and B are in thermal equilibrium. Suppose we have two systems or two bodies A and B. There is a third system which is known as C. We don't know whether A and B are in thermal equilibrium or not, but we know that A is in thermal equilibrium with C. So when it is in close contact for long time, they will reach a thermal equilibrium. Okay, so A and C is in thermal equilibrium and B and C is in thermal equilibrium. Then A and B should be in thermal equilibrium, and this is known as the zeroth law of thermodynamics. For example, we consider two systems A and B insulated from each other but good thermal contact with a common system C. Since system A and B will attain thermal equilibrium with third system C, you know that when it is in thermal contact for long time, it will be in thermal equilibrium. Same time C is in contact with B, so it will be in thermal equilibrium. So thermal equilibrium means these two have same temperature and these two have same temperature. If it is A and C have same temperature and B and C have same temperature, A and B should have same temperature. So this is known as the zeroth law of thermodynamics. So what is a temperature? We know that if we have two bottles which are in contact and one have a higher level of water and other have a lower level of water, if they are connected with each other, the water will flow from a bottle which have high Okay, same type of bottle, so which have a large amount of water to the bottle which have low amount of water till both of them have the same level of water. Similarly, temperature is also flow from a high temperature body to the low temperature body till both of them have the same temperature. So actually temperature is the measurement of heat energy. So when the temperature is high, they have high energy, they have high heat energy. So the temperature, so we can define the temperature as the thermal state of a body which refers its ability to communicate heat to other bodies. So if one body have high temperature, it have an ability to transfer heat from it to a body which is in lower temperature. So the temperature will decide whether heat is transferred from one body to other body, or how this heat transfer from what is the direction of heat flow from whether it is from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, which all decided by its temperatures. Okay. So what will be heat? Heat is some form of energy. The heat is defined as something which flow from one body at higher temperature to lower body to a body which is lower temperature. When the temperature is high, heat is high. When the temperature is low, its energy is low, heat energy is low. So heat energy is the measurement of kinetic energy, how the particle will get heat, or how can we measure heat, means if heat energy or temperature of the system is high, its kinetic energy will be high. So the temperature is a measurement of mean kinetic energy. So when the temperature increases, its kinetic energy also increases. Okay. So we can say that heat is a form of kinetic energy. So the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy of a system is called internal energy. So its contribution from the potential energy part is very, very low. So we can approximately equal to, we can say that the measurement of kinetic energy is the measurement of internal energy. When kinetic energy increases, internal energy increases. So kinetic energy is also, or internal energy is also related to the temperature. When temperature is high, its internal energy should be high because its kinetic energy increases. The state of a system is defined in terms of temperature, pressure and volume, etc. So this type of quantity is known as thermodynamics variable, so the thermodynamics variable is one which will determine the thermodynamic state of a system. So the quantities like pressure, volume, temperature, internal energy, entropy, etc. will determine the state of a system, and it is known as the thermodynamical variable. So we can divide the thermodynamical variable into two broad categories, that is extensive variable and intensive variable. So what is an extensive variable? An extensive variable of a system is a macroscopic parameter which describes the system in equilibrium and has a value in composite system is equal to the sum of the value in each of the subsystem. Or we can say that extensive variables are variables which depends upon the quantity of matter. Okay, if we divide the system into two equal parts, this extensive variable also divided into two parts. For example, volume, internal energy, entropy, number of molecules are extensive variables. So when we take a small part of the system, its variable value is also decreases. When we take the system as a whole, its value also increases. So this type of variable is known as the extensive variable. Example for extensive variables: volume, internal energy, entropy, number of molecules, etc. Okay. So what are intensive variables? Intensive variables of a system are macroscopic parameters which describe the system in equilibrium, and its value is same in all part of the system. When we take the system, when we divide the system into equal part, the value of intensive variable will be same. So it will not depend upon the matter. So matter present. So when we divide the matter into two, its the value of the intensity variable does not change. For example, its pressure, temperature, surface tension, viscosity, then density. When we divide a mass particle into or a material into many parts, its density remains constant. So such type of variables are known as the intensive variable. So what is the equation of state? A relation between the values of any three thermodynamic variable of a system is called the equation of state. For example, PV is equal to nRT is an equation of state of an ideal system or ideal gas. So a relation which connect the thermodynamics variable equation, there should be an equation which will connect different thermodynamic variable is known as the equation of state. It is very important. It will help for many problems of thermodynamics. So in the case of in the case of a real system, the for van der Waals gases, the equation of state can be written as P plus A by V square into V minus B is equal to RT. So this is known as the equation of state. Equation of state is nothing but an equation which will relate the thermodynamic variable. Okay. So in both these equations, there is an equation which connect this PVT, and there is only these variables present in this type of equations. This doesn't mean that we can write equation connecting PVT only. So we can connect we can use different thermodynamic variable like as enthalpy, entropy, internal energy, etc. So pressure, etc. So this will also represent equation of state of a variable system. So indicator diagram. For a gaseous system in equilibrium, we can plot the graph between pressure along vertical axis and volume along the horizontal axis. Such a plot is known as the indicator diagram. The state of the system is uniquely determined by pressure, volume, etc. So this PV graph. So this type of PV graph or PV maybe RT graph or a graph which will connect any two thermodynamic variable, and we can define a system, or we can study the system using this graphical representation of that system. That type of diagram is known as the indicator diagram. So a PV diagram is an indicator diagram. We can RT diagram, we can write PV diagram, we can write T diagram, we can write entropy, temperature, ST diagram, or different type of diagram. So diagram connecting any two thermodynamic variable is known as the indicator diagram, which will define the system or which will describe the system. So that type of diagram is known as an indicator diagram. So in a PV diagram, indicator diagram, the work done by the system is given by area under the diagram. So this is the area under the diagram. So this area will give you the work done by the system when it is moving from A to B. So the area under the PV graph will give you the work done.